potential finally achieved. Not according to everyone, but Off-Center might be hitting a groove finally. Join us with special guest Sam Taunton on this week's episode of...
Well, we'll just tell your mother that we ate it all.
Oh, yeah.
Do you guys do an intro?
Not really.
Yeah, there is,
we
but not.
We
on
talk
this.
for ages and then intro.
Except not so much
Except
recently.
All of it goes out.
We've got some more hard-hitting analysis.
That's true, yeah,
Last
yeah.
couple of weeks.
There's like a musical sting that gets edited.
So I suppose...
What's the song?
So
Every
Blink
Time I Look
182
For You by
suit.
Blink-182.
expertly spliced in with a quote from American Pie.
Oh, have you thought about doing a whole song as the intro? And just let it play for
6 minutes. You want it to
Yeah,
be
like
like a
six-
Tame Impala song or something?
Yeah, that'd be all right.
Yeah.
And then
No,
Do
you want
you-
it to be a Grateful,
a Grateful
Dead song.
Yeah. 11, 12 minutes.
I thought for a minute you had a band coming up that you wanted to play.
Oh, yeah, I'm plugging my band. Yeah,
it's-
it's called Sam and the Giggle Boys.
You should do like the thing that like Sufjan Stevens does with his stepdad. Do a musical project together with your daddy.
Oh,
Your daddy.
Yeah. And I'm your daddy. I'm wearing full leather.
my dad doesn't really talk to me at all, but what he does do
But
is...
he does collaborate.
He
with
did,
you.
no, he does. Like every morning, every second morning, he just sends me a video of him playing guitar. No, how's it going, son? How are you? It's
What
just like-
time in the
Just
morning?
check out this riff.
Probably like mid-morning, he'll send it through.
Cool.
It's like, you're just doing my scales.
Do you respond to it?
Oh, sometimes.
What do you say? Like, good stuff, Dad?
Shred-
I'm
Dad.
like, keep it up, brother. You know, all that kind of stuff. What do you say to your dad when he clearly is trying
Shred
to
the
show
knob.
off to you?
You're crushing it.
Yeah, nailed it again, mate. Like the last.
I
fucking-
can't, yeah.
all
I can't
25
imagine
years
my
old.
dad trying to show off to... Like, Hastings, you must have so many examples of this.
My dad showing
Your
off
dad's
to me.
cool.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Well, yeah.
It's everything I've ever seen him do has been an attempt to show it. I only worked this out recently. He's constantly been trying to impress me. That's his whole thing.
Really? Does
Yeah,
he
man.
call you Hastings?
Yeah.
And what do you call him?
I call him by his first name.
Fucking hell, that's
Yeah.
messed up. None of that's good. What's his first name? Pete.
Jared.
Jared.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you're like, hey, Jared.
McGowan.
And he's like,
It's Jared McGowan.
Yeah, I call him Jared or
makes
Jed or Jerry.
Jerry's not.
Sometimes we'll get a Jerry.
What
yeah.
about Jezza?
Yeah, we have different last names. He's not Hastings. Hastings is my mum's name. Yeah.
bad. Right. Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
well,
still kinda
really, he could still not. He
Hey,
could call
it's
you
weird
Andrew.
for your dad to call you Hastings. Like, you can say that. I'm not saying that's not weird.
I'm gonna ask my dad to call me.
Yeah,
Hastings.
yeah, I was going to say it's weird when my dad
Yeah.
calls me Hastings. Just from England all the way. And he's like, oh, Hastings.
Oh, yeah, Hastings. How you doing? You all right?
You all right, mate?
You fucking? You get
It's
your
also,
fuck on?
like,
My
weird.
son.
You went running 1-3-1 recently. It's
Yeah,
interesting as well.
That is what he's like.
Yeah, to talk about your dad therapy-wise when we're all sitting in this weird shell facing you.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
It does
true.
feel like therapy. I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday, not really important, but
About Hastings.
Yeah, about Hastings. Well, no, about Hastings' dad.
Ah.
But yeah, she's like, is he single? What's his story? No, she was saying she was talking to her mum. They've got a very open relationship. Her mum's been dating. And her mum the other night was like, darling, I had an orgasm last night. It was terrific.
Oh, man. That rocks.
It's like saying you had a really good curry or something
Yeah,
like that.
totally. So I popped down to the pub. He made me come. It was awesome. I don't know why she's English. I'm channeling your dad.
Yeah, it's my dad. That's the story. It was my dad.
Yeah.
Is he from England?
Yeah.
He's like, Jamie, my boy, I came last night.
I finally spoofed, mate. You wouldn't
What's-
say spoof.
What's the what do they
Spunked one
call
off in a-
spunk?
what do they call
Yeah.
what do they call cum in England?
Spunk.
Yeah.
Calm.
People still say sprog. Do you guys remember sprog?
Yeah, I remember
Frogs
Sprog.
are
I remember
Yeah.
Sprog being more like hawking a loogie.
Ooh.
Like I've done a
I've
Sprog.
never called it that, ever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So what they call it, sprog? I don't even know what I call it now. I guess I just call it cum.
Yeah.
I'm pretty boring in my names for sperm.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any better way than like, because like even saying like, can I jizz on your titties sounds like, you know, afterwards you're going to get picked up and taken to the mall. You
Yeah.
know? Like
Yeah.
In an in-sex context, cum I think is the only.
cum is the
appropriate
only
one.
one.
But what about the word titties? Do you think that is...
Oh no, titties is fair game, dude.
You think that... Because I feel like it's...
Could you say titties during sex?
Yeah, I think so.
I love your titties. Ugh.
Man, you
Yeah.
guys.
I think it's tits during titties post.
Yeah.
I think titties is post game talk, locker room talk. if
I
you
think
will.
I might be able.
Titties a bit of fun.
I think I might be able to pull off a titty.
Titties is dessert.
You
Can I
reckon?
come on your titties? No, actually,
Yeah,
no.
it's
Now I'm
weird.
saying it.
I've
It does-
had-
That sounds like saying, "Can I come on your boobies?"
that rules.
I reckon in dirty talk though, it's hard. The words have got to be short.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's got to be like slut.
Yeah,
cum,
fuck.
fuck.
Yeah.
Cunt.
Cunt,
Well, it's
yeah.
all good. Yeah, and it's got to be
If you're
hard.
when you're doing like boobies, titties, it's a bit like it's a bit too.
It's a
long.
bit jovial.
You're dangerously close to baby voice.
yeah.
Oh.
Well, do you think as well it's got to do with like their hard
Don't
sounds
come on my
for
titties,
a
it's
hard
scary.
penis? You know?
Hold on.
It's scary out there.
What's
Do you-
happened?
oh, just people talking all
Yeah.
at
I
once.
was gonna say like
we're
it-
doing our own
yeah.
thing over here.
Yeah.
It's hard sounds for like the hard
Yeah.
penis.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, because
Hang
that's
on,
what's
you're being
supposed
very
to happen.
heteronormative here.
yeah. Or with a hard pussy then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Hold on,
Hold on, Jamie just said hard penis. He didn't
sometime-
say who owned it.
Sometimes
Yeah.
there's a pussy, and sometimes
How do you
there's
know
a
I
dick,
wasn't
but
talking
sometimes,
about
because of hormonal issues, the dick is not hard.
Well, how do you know I
Sometimes
wasn't?
because of cocaine
Oh.
issues, the dick isn't
Yeah.
hard. You
I
don't
mean,
see me
I
flexing.
was gonna say a lot of the time the dick's.
Yeah. I think we have to
I'm
spend.
soft
Is the
right
pu-
now.
Yeah.
Is the pussy supposed to be hard?
Yeah, yeah.
I wouldn't.
Hard
Is
as
it?
a rock and
Really?
dry.
Okay.
Like limestone.
Interesting.
Got
to
to.
know.
It's got to be like smashing into something
Wow.
at high speed.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm writing that down.
Yeah,
Right.
we need more time to normalize the
Well,
conversation around
see.
people who get soft dicks from cocaine as well. I think.
Yeah, I
I
agree,
think it's
dude.
pretty normal, isn't it? People talk about it all the time.
Yeah, it's like if you do, like, it's, yeah, like, I don't think no one's immune to it.
Well, yeah. I think it's cocaine's little. It's cocaine's little like thing to get you. You know. They're like,
Yeah.
You can have a bit of fun,
Yeah.
but
Pill
good luck.
dick.
Yeah. Well, I got nature's
Oh.
workaround, so it's all good.
Nature's reach around. Did you say?
Yeah.
What's that?
Viagra.
Oh, Viagra.
Yeah. All
Would you-
natural.
yeah,
Organic, natural.
That's nice.
Modafinil.
comes from the ground, baby.
Just really pushing the heart to its fucking
Yeah.
highest
Yeah.
octane.
Absolutely.
Do you reckon
Yeah.
you guys? Because you guys are all party people.
Oh, Jamie
Do you
especially.
think? Do you
yeah,
think
I've
that?
never done drugs.
Do you think it's going to have a negative effect on you guys down the line?
No.
Okay, Rosie.
It probably already had a negative effect on like my ability to produce serotonin.
Right.
Yeah.
Jamie.
I've never done anything more than weed.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
no.
I'm
Although
gonna-
I smoked for like 15 years.
That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't think
I
of
got
that
out of-
having a negative.
No one's ever
impact
been
at all.
hurt.
Came out the other end, baby.
Do you ever crave marijuana?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
But you smoked it for 15 years.
No, I
No,
smoked
smoked
cigarettes.
Oh, are you off the darts?
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Lockdown, baby.
Wow, and it just once you decided to not leave the house to get them.
Yeah, like I just started like saving money and stuff like that, and then before I knew it, had been 3 months I hadn't done it. Like I've smoked a couple of times since, but not like serious. And I haven't bought a pack of cigarettes since like mid-March.
That's great.
So like I will like bum cigarettes from people. Okay, I think I've smoked 3 times in like the last 120 days or something like that.
It sounds, yeah, you're definitely counting. I
Yeah.
think that's a good space to be. Because, like, you don't want to be like the person who's like, I can't have one cigarette because the floodgates will open.
Yeah, I get like
It's nice to celebrate and have a cigarette.
I also do
sometimes.
think like there is something to though regretting it the next day, like to come home and be like a little like fuck, like I did it, but like fine, you know, and,
Yeah.
move forward. But whereas if you're like I did it, I'm okay with it. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. That's like the first step towards.
That's how I relapse
Yeah.
every time.
Yeah.
You don't smoke darts, Hastings,
No, I
though.
used to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Rosie, you're still going strong?
Yeah.
Yeah. More, if anything?
No, I would say like the same.
Yeah.
What about you?
Cigarettes.
Because you were on the old vape before, weren't you?
Oh, I mean, I reckon, yeah, I kind of swing in and out. Like, I don't really smoke that. I had a few the other night at a gig, and then occasionally my housemate smokes, so sometimes I'll have one with him.
Right,
But not
yeah.
really. I reckon I might have one or two a week.
Yeah.
Maybe some weeks I'll have 5, other weeks none.
So like I wouldn't go to like 1 or 2 a week now. I'd do it like when I go out and drink like at least 6 beers. But then a lot of people I know smoke rollies, which I kind of don't like that much.
That's a good place to be in.
So
You don't like
you
the
haven't
rollies.
asked me for one.
yeah.
Well, Taylor's
Well, I
are kind
asked-
of like hurt, I reckon.
Yeah.
You feel gross the next day.
Yeah, I asked a friend, Jack, for a few after your gig the other night. And like,
Yeah.
you have them, but like they just feel so inconsequential to me. Like
Right.
I just rip through them for some
They go
reason.
quick, yeah. Yeah, I mean, the problem with vaping is that there's no time, It's like, there's no time limit.
Oh, you
Yeah.
You're in bed vaping.
You're constantly vaping when I see you these days.
Yeah, I
Just
like
sitting on the
it.
pool table at Everly. Like,
Yeah, and it's like, no, you vape inside, and they're like,
Yeah.
can you not do that? That's all that happens.
Yeah.
Well, I think I prefer because I tried to vape for a bit.
I've
and
got a guy, if you also vapes.
I got a little into it, but not too much because like I kind of like the structure of smoking cigarettes. Because like with a vape, you can just do it anytime you want.
And that's the
but like
issue.
even when you go out for a cigarette and you time it, you're still like, this is the lamest thing in the world. That I'm standing out here like trying to recreate.
But that isn't that to me. That is the big issue with smoking. It's the structure. If you smoke heaps, you're used to that. It's
Yeah.
tied into anxiety a lot of the time. I think.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
you get used to, it and then you get anxious if your routine's gone. Which is, or if anything is kind of amiss, you're like, I'll have a cigarette.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or
That when-
reset.
What
The
I'm
t-
told, apparently, is because I roll them. Apparently, I start getting the like positive endorphins
From the
before,
roll.
Before, yeah, like because like my brain knows it's about to happen.
That's awesome.
I get
Yeah.
that with cutting weed.
Yeah.
I start relaxing once I start
It's
cutting.
kind of, and it's all part of the little process.
Yeah, it's
the
a little
fun
ritual.
thing you enjoy.
little ritual.
Because we are
Kind of
just
like when I jerk off.
that's a ritual.
Yeah, absolutely.
I reckon
I faced
I don't,
Mecca.
I don't even. Is that a bit you're doing? Because I reckon like
absolutely not,
Because I
no.
reckon knowing you're about to jerk off, you're already like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
this is gonna rock.
Yeah, dessert.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
You're never
That is
like
so true.
You're never like, oh, here we go, going through the motions.
Sometimes, like, if I ever jerk off, sometimes I wake up in the morning and I'm like, what am I going to do? I'm like, oh, I could jerk off. And
Yeah.
I get excited. I'm like, oh, this will be fun. Like, it's a fun thing I can do for the next
It's like
Yeah.
literally the little treat that you can have at
It
any
is a
time,
treat.
and it's got no like drawback.
Yeah.
It is a treat. I mean, you could get addicted to it.
Ah man,
I think it's
how
pretty-
often you haven't have to fucking do that to
Yeah.
I think we're past the age where that's an option.
Getting addicted to jerking
Yeah,
off.
man.
But
I think
it's like you
we
gotta-
all have a pretty strong handle on jerking off.
I
You
reckon
have to
I've honestly
work and
jerked off
stuff.
about 5 times in the last year.
I've done 5
Really?
times since I've been here.
Well, it's
dude.
hormonally, it's
different.
different now.
So it's just you
So-
don't have an interest in jerking off?
Not really.
I had 3 yesterday.
But you're still all about... okay.
First time in a while, but
That's sick, dude.
That is high. Just
Dude.
after you're being like, we're past the time of being addicted to it.
I jerked off 47 times
It's like you
yesterday.
jacked off then more meals you ate yesterday.
Yeah. Well, I woke up early and then I started work late, so I went before work, and then I was up late last night, and I was like, why not? Time
So
to go
you
again.
had 2 after work.
Treating
One
yourself.
after work, 2 before work.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thought for a moment we were going to trap you into admitting you had one at work.
No.
Oh, have
No.
you done that?
Oh,
Not at
yeah.
this work.
I hear stories about people jerking
At
off
old
work.
works for sure.
I beat off
yeah.
at every place I've worked except the place I do now.
Are you
No,
going
that's not
to?
true because I work at home at the moment.
I've done it at
beat off
one
there a couple of
workplace.
times.
Which workplace?
I guess I couldn't get in trouble for it at this point. I worked for Ericsson.
Are they electronics?
Yeah, it was when I was doing that captioning job.
Oh, that was a good gig.
No, it wasn't.
Okay. All right. In my head, it sounds okay.
It gave
Although-
me such crushing depression.
Although, yeah, I've subtitled a few videos, and it actually fucking sucks. It's like such an annoying job.
It's horrible. And doing all the live stuff is just so stressful.
We
Hey.
just go and jerk off to get over it.
I did.
Yeah.
Taunton's
Yeah.
the guy. The subtitles all Muggleton's comedy videos.
That is
me.
with
Yeah,
the-
yeah, yeah.
With the fun bracket.
Yeah, I do it for
things.
free.
yeah.
I just enjoy- I
well,
enjoy
sometimes
it.
the work is its own reward.
Well, sometimes you want to catch up on the news. it's fine.
Catch up on the other news.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. No, that's not bad. I think it's really for like someone, a 30-year-old person to be like, yeah, I'm suddenly addicted to jerking off now. Something bad must have happened pretty recently, I think.
What, isn't
It's
that
a
because-
strange development.
You know how everyone was like, I've been horny in lockdown.
I didn't get that at all.
Yeah, I wasn't that horny.
I was like less horny. I was pretty scared.
Do you think that's because you're out less seeing people getting fucked up though?
No. I think
what?
because
Seeing people getting fucked up makes you
No,
horny.
like I know,
Was
like
that
going
seeing
out,
people
getting
come
fucked
getting
out,
fucked
and
up?
seeing people. Yeah, like
Okay,
No,
so
because if
saying
you're
that.
out like at a bar and like there's tons of women like paying you attention, I'd be hornier than I was No, I take that back. I'd be hornier at home playing Final
Where's this bar
Fantasy.
that bar people are paying you attention? Where is this?
You told me about it, dude. You texted me.
Oh yeah, I got you in.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah. I had to tell the bartender and memorize a secret handshake that you came up with. They
Yeah,
said.
and you still got to do it during COVID as well.
Yeah, yeah.
They're like, sorry, if you want to come in and fuck, you
Yeah.
got to do it.
They keep referring to you as Grand Poobah.
Yeah,
which
they
is
do. There's
so
a picture of me
annoying.
on the wall.
Yeah.
There's candles around it. It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, not a particularly horny lockdown for me.
It wasn't for me at all, and I kept seeing everyone just being like, "I'm so horny, I'm just gonna fuck," and I'm like, "Well, we had different times." Like,
Yeah.
I was just watching like World War II documentaries
Yeah,
the entire
exactly.
time.
Yeah.
I was seeing someone and like we weren't having sex. It was just like, no,
Were you in the
feeling
same
off.
like place, in the same apartment all the time?
A lot. Like she lives about 10 minutes from here, so we were just going back and forth between each other's houses.
Yeah, when you actually don't have the break, the split up of a day, it's just like God. It's hard to look at someone.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a lot of time. I'm so glad.
and consequently, it didn't work out.
I'm so.
Yeah, blame it on lockdown, Rosie, if that makes you feel better.
No, it's like it's more upsetting for her why it didn't work out.
Oh, okay. Well, do you want to reveal? Do you want to? Let's go. We don't want to talk about that.
Rose
not
is
really.
too fun.
Too funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That does it. The amount of relationships that have ended
I was
from
gonna
too many one-liners,
too many zingers, dude.
too many zingers.
I'm talking about the burgers.
You're too hot on the
You go,
riff.
gotcha, and she goes, enough is enough. I can't laugh anymore.
I was gonna say I'm so glad that we got like a second room before lockdown happened. Like we moved in February to a 2-bedroom.
You guys sleep
From
in
a
separate
one-bedroom?
rooms?
We sleep in the same room, but like it was somewhere I can play video games and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like during the day, we're still in the same bed, Sam.
Okay.
I'll let you know.
I've
when
just
we're-
heard for some couples, sometimes it is a positive step forward.
Yeah,
Sleeping in separate rooms.
sure. We've been
Sometimes
married.
they sleep in separate houses.
Sometimes they sleep inside of other people.
We've been married 7 months. We're not quite at the separate bed stage yet.
Yeah,
got
yeah,
at least
yeah,
a few
yeah.
more years
Yeah.
of the same bed.
7 months, you go to separate partners.
Yeah.
before
Separate part.
yeah.
How long have you been married, Jamie?
3 years.
Have you got any advice for Hastings in the world of
Good
marriage?
question.
Yeah, don't fucking do it, man. No.
That whole thing about
Yeah.
like old men seem to do it. They love the jokes of like hating their wives.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's so
geez, I
weird.
can't remember the last time I had sex.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I just think it's just crazy. Like, it's just one of the funniest kind of. Just like, yeah, you hate your wife. Like, what are you talking about? You love your wife. Like,
Yeah.
admit that
Yeah.
you love your wife.
Yeah,
It's like if she died, you'd cry. You know?
of course.
Was this like? I can't remember if this is someone.
I'm just picturing a guy crying. Now,
Yeah, I
being
told all my mates I hated her.
It's all a lie. I actually liked her
I
quite a
loved her
bit.
lot.
I can't remember if this is someone's bit or not, but like when I used to work in the bottle shop, like I would always get this, and I've heard this from other people. Is when like you go, like, do you want a bag? And the guy always goes like, oh nah, she's at home. You just want to be like, is she?
Oh, that would be great doing it if you weren't married.
Is she though?
Yeah.
I used to, the golf course I used to work at. I'd be like, how'd you go to the old men? They all play golf after their round, and they'd be like, pretty shit, but better than a day at home with the missus.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, come on.
I mean, the golf course is exactly where that kind
Yeah.
of chat is
Yeah,
built
yeah.
for. That
It's
is
like
But
a
also-
breeding.
Oh, I
ground.
love it.
classic golf
When
course
I was growing
chat.
up, because I play golf, like all my friends were like 70-year-old men. It was so bizarre. Once I remember I was like 13 and I was on the first tee and I was playing with this guy. I can't remember his name, but he was like, I don't know, 65 or whatever.
Yeah.
And he was like in a real good mood. And I'm like, why are you so happy? And he leaned over to me. He goes, rolled the leg over last night, mate.
Man.
That's funny though.
Yeah,
You
that's
can't
I
do
can't
that.
wait
That's
to be
it.
You
60
can't
Right.
roll the leg over.
Well, I remember
That's
thinking, I was
better.
like, this sounds all right. Like just battling your wife for sex every
Yeah.
3 months. And if you do it, you're the happiest person alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like that's golf dirty talk as well.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah,
that's
yeah,
the
yeah.
best they can come up with.
Well, no, sometimes they would have names for things that were kind of like quite mean. Sometimes if your ball went behind a tree, these old men would be like, and that you didn't have a shot to the green, like your ball was kind of stuck behind a tree. People would call it a Peter Brock, and I was like, "What's that?" And they're like, "Oh, dead behind a tree," that's pretty
I know,
dark.
it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think
Right.
that's like pretty tight.
He's
Yeah.
Doing a chucked up Rocky.
It's ready for the stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Try that after Polynesian poly guy.
Oh, you've reminded me about. I want to bring it back. I think I had 2 Polynesian removalists yesterday. I was
Were they both your girlfriends at the same time?
No, but they were not that strong. At one point, a guy was like,
That's very funny.
he was like, dude, this is too heavy for me. Can you help? And I'm like, what? I'm paying you to like
Yeah.
help me out here.
Kind of defeats the whole purpose of the service if you're lifting heavy things.
Yeah, I was like, what are you doing?
That's
He's
literally
like,
the entire
he's like,
point
I'm
of
the
it.
driver. And I'm like, oh, great.
He's tired. He's got so many wives to see.
Yeah, he's fucking 5 times a day. He's fucking more than Hastings jerking off in a day.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh dear. Should we start this?
You guys are all
godforsaken-
cancelled for that.
Not me. Uncancelable.
You
You reckon?
You did the voice.
Yeah.
We'll all delete that. That is not allowed. That's done, right? Polynesian voices.
I don't know.
A lot of comedians do it.
My
like-
instinct is yes, but also like I don't want it to be true.
I think you could
Yeah.
still be Italian, Irish, Scottish, German, probably.
French.
I assume. Yeah, French.
I
Well,
reckon
I think
you
you
get.
can
I
just do
reckon
any kind of
you
white
get away
European
with.
language.
I reckon you get away with Polynesian as long as it's like in a positive light. I'll allow it.
No, but you would get. I mean, but that was kind of the rule for a while with Asian accents.
Yeah, and I think it still applies with Poly.
Well, yeah, I was just watching some
think
one
it
of those
still
old British
applies.
like live at the Apollo episodes the other day, and like Ramesh Ranganathan was on, who's Sri Lankan, I think, and
He's
then
a great comic.
and I'm not a huge fan, but then
He's all right. Plays like Wembley. That guy.
Friend of Sam's.
he's very big, but I just like I don't like his.
He's got a
vibe.
lazy eye. What's there not to like?
I like Lazy Eyes. I love Tom York, but
Who are we talking about? I missed the start of this.
but anyway, the guy who went on after him.
Nathan.
I don't
The
know.
guy who went on after him was like doing like a bit that was like a positive bit about an Indian restaurant, but he did the voice of like the Indian waiter working
Yeah.
in there, and I'm just like, this is, like, and it wasn't even
Yeah.
that long ago, and I was like, this still it feels off.
Yeah, my
Like-
argument though isn't. I
Yeah.
understand that, but I'm saying for Polynesian accents specifically, we're still in the that's okay territory for about another 6 months to a year. I reckon.
Totally. Yeah.
As long as it's positive about Polynesians, then
I don't
fair
know.
play
I
for
think
the,
it's
for the
like-
moment.
Because I think my opinion on comedy is like the audience dictates what is, like the audience and like the populace dictate what is okay. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? And it's like,
Yeah.
and it's proven like blackface is not okay.
Yeah.
But it's like you can only play to those. You know, everyone used to say like, delete this faggot when they used to do stand up. People used to say that all the time.
Yeah.
And now they don't. And I don't think it's because comedians are woke or better people. I think it's because the audience collectively were like,
Yeah.
oh, we don't want straight people saying
Yeah,
that word.
you're just
You
like
know what I mean?
Yeah.
describing like society.
Yeah, but
and like
so
culture.
What I'm
like-
saying, yes, it's what I'm saying. It's like if you can still do
Sam
a Polynesian
Taunton is
accent,
Joker.
I would like to
Until-
do the Polynesian accent.
Yeah. Until the audience
Yeah,
is going,
yeah. You're exactly right.
Yeah.
You're exactly right. By that and that's the logic I'm using to say
Because
you
we
can
don't
still do
set the
Polynesian
rules.
accent.
The audience sets the
Yeah.
rules.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just Sam frantically emailing his managers, being like, "You gotta let me go rural, bro. I got some shit."
I've got some stuff. Well, it is
Yeah.
different out there. You
Yeah.
could
Oh,
do
yeah.
whatever
Oh, you
want
could-
there.
You
You
could
could
still
do-
say faggot out there.
Yeah, you could do stuff
100%,
from at
yeah.
least 5 years ago.
And then
Yeah.
maybe
Maybe
Polynesian
10.
people in rural New South Wales and
There
Queensland and
were,
Victoria.
reckon
where
there
I
would
grew
be.
up, coastal New South Wales, there was heaps of
Okay, fair enough.
like Polynesian people.
All right, I just picture them, like
Where?
like where I'm from, like in Manly.
The beach.
Oh, the beach.
Yeah, dude.
Mhm.
Playing rugby
Yeah.
league.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah.
They do like rugby league. They
Yeah.
like singing,
Yeah. What other stereotypes we got?
tattoos.
Fucking hell. All right.
Please leave all of that in.
We are
I wanted
leaving
to
all of
see
this
how
in.
far you two would go.
I would keep going. I had more.
Yeah, what else do they
I
like?
said it high, but
What's Oh no, I can't say it. What's Crookshank? What's Crookshank thing that he says? I
how
can't
did Crookshank
remember.
there?
He told me something very funny once.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's very funny.
Let's start this podcast.
Let's-
Okay, welcome to We'll Just Tell Your Mother. We Ate It All, a podcast about teen sex comedies and things thereabouts and things very much not thereabouts. This is week 5, I think, of the Off-Center experiment where we watch every episode of the failed sitcom Off-Center, brought to you by the fucking writers of American Pie. My name is Rose Piper. Your name is...
I'm Jamie.
And you...
I'm Andrew Hastings, again, the star of the show.
And we're joined by returning guest Sam Taunton. Hello, how you doing?
Thank you so much. I don't know what just happened. The energy was so high in this room.
Yeah.
And then this intro started, and all three of you just
Yeah.
were just like, oh.
Yeah. Rose, really, it really seems like you hate doing the intros.
No, but not only Rose, you pulled your phone out, Jamie.
I was
and
getting
you're
my
like,
notes,
"Hey,
mother-
what's up?"
I was getting my notes, motherfucker.
Yeah. My
I'm
energy's
ready
up.
to.
I'm bouncing, baby.
I'm ready to.
I
fucking
still
go.
felt like it was down. Yours was Hastings.
Well,
before.
first
from
we
before.
First, we go to interrogate the guest, Sam Taunton.
Thank you.
Wonderful guest. One of our made it onto our best of, I believe.
That was a real treat. Because not everyone made it on, did they?
No.
Who
not
didn't
everyone.
make it?
Who didn't make
Oh,
it?
God.
Oh, God. Should we out
The majority?
anyone?
Well, Squires
No,
didn't make
not
it.
the majority.
Squires
Squires
didn't
didn't make it.
Alex didn't make it.
Lucy B didn't make it.
Jamie Kirk didn't make it.
Nah, I
Rose
was
Piper
cut
didn't
out.
make it.
Yeah.
You
At
edited
least in the
them out.
versions I heard.
The version
we don't make it in the version of the weekly episodes that
Yeah.
you hear.
Yeah, that's correct. I want to hear myself talk.
Do you do a
for-
director's cut, do you, Hastings?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, like internally.
It's
like,
just
I have a
Yeah.
filter in my brain that sort of filters out.
Hastings talks and then he hears us talking, but it's just us doing his stand-up bits in his voice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Or at the
I would
very
like
least
to be
being
in
like,
your
Hastings is great. He's so talented.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, nailed that question there,
Yeah.
Hastings. I'm sure their answer is not interesting at all, but terrific question.
So funny, mate. So funny. So funny.
Keep it up. Keep it up.
Yeah. I'm so glad that you guys have recorded saying that. I can now isolate that audio.
You're at risk of running away with the show.
Go to sleep to those dulcet tones.
You want to interrogate me, do you?
Yeah, we do, because you sent us a bit on a wild goose chase the last time you were on.
I did, yeah.
You made us watch Sisterhood of the Travelling Pants,
A
I
great
believe.
film.
That you had not seen.
Have not seen it, no.
And did
Wait,
not
you
watch.
haven't seen it, or you hadn't seen it for like a decade?
Oh
or
yeah, it
something?
was ages ago. Like
What a
I've
mess.
got the gist of it. The magic pants, you know. Like that's everyone.
They fit everyone.
They fit everyone.
Yeah.
It's an amazing thing.
And then you made us watch it. And then
Yeah,
you came
and
on
you guys
here and
liked it,
fucking
remember?
embarrassed us. Yeah, well, we all loved it. Like, that's not what we're talking about.
Thank you
It-
for
the
showing
pants
it
fit
to me,
everybody.
man.
What's
It's all
not to
our
love?
favorite movie now. We've watched the sequel.
But that is beside the point.
We're mad
it's
at
about
you.
ethics. It's about pride. But they are magic pants, right?
They are magic pants.
They are, very much
I
so.
reference it all the time in conversation when someone's like, "These jeans fit." I'm like, maybe they're the jeans from the Sisterhood of the Travelling Pants. Little do they know I'm a fraud.
Don't they have like a big like flower on them or something like that? Is like embroidered
I don't
on?
think
It's like
they
really
did,
tacky.
did they? They were just a magic pair of pants that fit every woman.
I feel like there's a tacky
The
detail
flowers
to
in the
them.
logo, like the font of the DVD.
It's so good we're back talking about this.
Yeah, again. You've done it
I've
again.
done it again. I've done it again. I haven't still haven't watched it, but there is a sequel, isn't there?
Yeah, the Sisterhood
Isn't
of the
there
Travelling
about
Pants
4 or
too.
5 books?
I think there's
I think
multiple
that's
books,
where the
yes.
popularity
What if it
of
was like the
these pants
Kransky Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants?
That's good.
Is that anything?
That's something.
That is
Yeah, let's beat
fucking
the- let's-
so neat.
Let's call
Yeah.
whoever manages the Kransky
Let's-
sisters. And we're like, we've got an idea
Yeah.
for you.
We got
It's
it.
more of a stage show.
Yeah.
Let's work this out. What do we do?
All right.
Start the show.
It's like, all right, Kransky
Okay,
sisters,
so
I'm
it's-
going to need all your jean sizes to begin with.
and
gonna need
there is quite a disparity between one. Well, all three of the
I can only
Kransky
picture
sisters. I would
one
say.
of their faces.
One of them is a bit bigger than the other two.
We're gonna,
Really?
gonna need a tailor.
Yeah, no, it's like a full stage musical.
Is it as
experience
simple as maybe
parody.
that
The
they
Kransky
would-
sisters
Absolutely.
parodying? Yeah,
Is it as simple as maybe they were just kind of elasticated jeans with an elastic waistband?
Yeah,
Don't look. No one likes it
I
when
think-
magic tricks are revealed.
Yeah,
like, when
don't break
truth
the
comes out,
mythology of the pants.
yeah.
But they would be perfect for it.
Yeah.
You know, if they are all different sizes, as you say.
This is true.
What about
yeah.
this? What about? Are there any other movies that the movie would have like the complication of the movie would have been resolved early if the characters had access to magical pants that change sizes?
Oh.
Like what other story would that device have like solved problems in?
She's
well,
all that.
Ocean's 11.
Yeah.
Ocean's 11. How?
Well, you know, it would just
How
like
would
it would
disguise
it would
it?
all work a lot quicker if all 11 of them could fit into the pants. You know.
At once, all 11 they get in the pants. They walk into
Oh,
the
maybe,
casino.
yeah, it's one of those, like,
what's
big-
going on here?
Yeah,
Someone
they'd-
zips around and steals some money.
Exactly. Yeah.
This is a rare
There's,
treasure.
there's 5
We've
people
gotta
in
put
each
them in the
pant
hole.
like that.
If,
Well, at that point, just like sell the pants. Like they're
Yeah.
probably worth so much. These
That's
pants.
true. Yeah.
if I were Frank Ocean, I'd call my dick Ocean's 11.
Would you?
I
Yeah.
bet you he does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I-
almost definitely a lyric in one of his songs
Why
somewhere.
didn't he call
Although
it
no, he's
Ocean's 13?
pretty serious.
Yeah, I mean,
'Cause
that's
it-
better.
It's better than the.
Because he's humble, dude.
He's humble.
Yeah.
Ocean's 8.
Ocean's 8 is still pretty good.
Yeah, but yeah, Ocean's 8 because it's all women.
Yeah.
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 Well, that wouldn't work for Frank
Yeah, that-
Ocean.
Damn,
He's
that
gay.
would work.
You start calling yourself Ocean's 8.
Ocean's 8. That is actually the best nickname. When people are like, what are you into?
Fanny
Say,
Yeah,
Ocean.
but I'm
Ocean's
gonna have
8.
to change my name to like Rosie Ocean.
No, Fanny Ocean.
Rosie Ocean's okay.
This
Fanny
could be worse.
Ocean.
Have you
Fanny-
thought about
Yeah. Why
changing
Fanny
your name?
Ocean?
Because
Vaginas.
Danny Ocean is the character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Danny
Ocean,
Ocean,
played
yeah.
by George Clooney.
Clooney.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then in Ocean's 8, the vagina one.
Vagina.
The vagina version.
The vagina
Ocean's
monologues.
8, aka Vagina Monologues 2.
Who's the
yeah.
main? The main is it Sandra Bullock's the main?
Yeah, and is she his ex-wife?
No, that's Julia Roberts.
Then what's
I
Bullock's
haven't
story?
watched it yet.
I
I've
think
got it
she's
bookmarked on
Danny
some
Ocean's
website.
sister, maybe.
Oh, an old-fashioned crime family.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh,
an
It's
old-
not bad,
are they
is it?
related? Like, is
I
the
th-
storylines connected?
I think that she's related to him. Yeah. Do you
I
want me to
love
check?
Sandra
What does
Bullock.
our Kate? What's her role?
All right, let me check. We're gonna
Our
look it
Kate.
up.
Okay, yeah.
I forgot our
She's
Kate
the
was in
muscle.
it.
Yeah, I met our
She is the
Kate
muscle.
once.
Really?
Yeah,
Where?
it was like a friend of the show, Hannah Story. She used to be the arts editor for themusic.com.au, and she got free tickets to like the season opening of Sydney Theatre Company because it was like Andrew Upton's last one in charge. So we just went there and got heaps of free booze, and then Kate Blanchett turned up.
And what was she doing? Racking it up in the toilets or whatever?
Yeah. We all did
Man.
coke with
Imagine
Kate
sharing
Blanchett.
a line with Galadriel herself.
That would actually fucking
And
rule so
like you
much.
do a line, and she's like, and you're like, hey, I love that acting stuff you do.
we got
She's like, yeah,
I liked it when you played Dylan, dude.
yeah.
we got a
Okay.
photo.
She's like a dude, but like not a dude.
She just turns and she's like, "I loved Mortal Kombat 2, especially your
Thanks,
part,
Kate.
Andrew Hastings."
Thanks, Kate.
We got a photo with her, and then some random dude stuck his head in. So there's just some random dude in our photo with Kate Blanchett forever as well. But like,
Photoshop.
we didn't
Yeah.
want to be a dick because it was like supposed to be like Andrew Upton's night. So we were like, get in the photo. He's like, no, I'll take it. I'm fucking way too pissed. He was just worried he was going to look like shit in the photo, so he took the photo.
That's so funny. It's like,
Yeah.
what does he care about looking? Oh, was it a staff photographer?
No,
Your own.
It
what
was
does
just
he
it was
care,
just
though?
like a.
He's never going to see the photo. You
I
don't know the guy.
Well, he posted online like we did.
Okay.
Well, I've got the answers here.
Okay.
Sandra Bullock is Danny Ocean's sister,
Right.
and our Kate is Debbie Ocean's partner in crime. So she's the Brad Pitt to
Right.
So they're
Sandra
old,
Bullock.
long-time friends.
Yeah, it seems like it. Based
All
on this
these
Wikipedia.
Hollywood criminals are so fancy. Like all the people I do that do any kind of low-level crime are not fancy people.
Yeah.
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 I
had
guess they're not robbing. I don't know anyone who's ever been like, do you want to rob a casino?
I tried a bit about that bombed in multiple open mics.
I have bombed at multiple open mics as well.
No, not me.
Yeah, you never bombed.
I've never bombed.
Yeah.
Especially not at an open mic.
You came down. We were doing a gig the other night, and you came down the stairs. I didn't see your spot,
Yeah.
but you're like, "Yeah, I crushed."
Yeah.
And then I heard you telling someone else, "You're like, yeah, I crushed."
Yeah,
You know when something
That's
happens.
so cute. That's just so cute.
Yeah, it sounds like me. It was a good set.
That is so cute.
I'll back him
Crushed.
up. He did do quite
did well.
Yeah,
Nice.
he
Yeah,
did
well,
do
you
quite
know,
well.
sometimes the big dog's got to
But-
get his just desserts.
But it is telling that like how rarely that may happen.
fuck
That you
off.
come downstairs going to everyone like, oh, I didn't
No,
know.
You're just going to
there just hasn't
group
been
after
good
group.
gigs around.
Doesn't
I've
mean
missed
any
crushing.
gigs around.
There's no shows.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I've missed having a hot one.
Yep.
That's what I was excited about.
Yep. It is you miss the laughter.
Yeah, I did.
Let's talk about this damn show.
Yeah, we introed the
Are you
podcast
guys
ages
regretting
ago.
this show?
Yes.
What's
me
your
and
vibe
me
to
and
it?
Rose were talking about it before.
Yeah.
And I was saying I don't know if it's a result of it being kind of like bad or if it's just the fact that it's the podcast and it's regimented and you have to do it and have to talk about it. I'm kind of glad that it's a show that's bad.
Yeah.
Because that way I'm like, fuck it. Whereas like if it was a great show that I slowly started resenting because of the podcast, I'd find it harder to take.
I don't think it's that bad.
Me neither. I've got Stockholm Syndrome. In fact, my notes say that episode 14 is the best one of the bunch.
I think I started to get Stockholm
Yeah.
Syndrome, and now I just like, no, I hate this.
You hate it
This
with
is
a passion?
work. Yeah.
It's weird for me
No.
coming in because you gave me 3 episodes to watch, Rose,
Yeah.
which I did as a good guest. I felt guilty from the traveling.
yeah. Well,
Should
Should have watched all 14.
Sam, the
Yeah.
best apology is change behaviour. We appreciate it.
Exactly. I've been recovered. You know, I've changed my ways.
You're renewed.
Do I say that like someone that's been said to a bunch of times?
And someone who's disregarded it.
But it was weird coming in. What episodes did I watch?
13, 14, 15.
Yeah,
oh,
it's
hang
like
on. We're
I had
supposed to
no
do that
concept.
part, aren't we?
I didn't even Google the show, so I had no concept of the.
Yeah.
Of the
You just went in cold.
Yeah.
I was like,
how
what
are you
the-
going to get this cerebral high concept?
All right, well, here we go. I'll ask it. So you probably got it pretty quick. Who's Mike? Like, what's his deal?
Is he? Is it not a spin-off from American Pie?
No.
No.
Oh, I thought he was the guy.
So
at
you
the
thought
front.
he
You
was
thought he was Finch.
But why is he always going on about this Saved by the Bell dude?
That's only in that episode.
That was just a one.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
And also, I think that's aged poorly because since then, like, Screech has appeared in, like, scat porn and shit.
Scat porn. I knew
Yeah,
he
like,
did
he
porn
did it-
to
he
like
did-
try and
He
save
did a thing where he
money.
did the shit mustache on someone.
Oh, no.
I can't remember what you call that. The Dirty Sanchez, I think.
That period episode, by the way, is one of the
Well, that's the first one.
most outdated thing I've ever.
Highly
Yeah.
evolved.
I love
comedy.
it, dude.
That's the
You
first.
liked it.
I love it.
That's the first
Well, let's
one.
talk
I'll
about
do
the
that.
first one.
The first one is called episode 13. It's called Why Chow Lives Alone. As Mike stays at Liz's for a while after he gets tired of living with Ewan. To get back at Mike, Ewan has Chow live in Mike's room.
Can I ask a question? What does Ewan do for a job? And why is
He's
he
a-
British?
He's like
a
an investment
stockbroker.
banker.
Yeah,
Because he was born in England.
So he's the one with the money to fund this crazy apartment.
Yeah.
Well, apparently his investment bank gave him like a relocate. So Mike and Ewan went to
my God.
Oxford University. There's a lot
Yeah.
of law.
That's
Yeah.
a crazy backstory.
Mike and Ewan went to Oxford University together.
Together?
Yeah. Which is so weird because in episode 13, it starts with like Mike being like, why do you call them chips? They're French fries. It's like
Yeah.
you went to university in Oxford.
And then
Yeah.
he gets a laugh from
Yeah.
saying rubbish.
yeah,
This
it's
is
like
rubbish.
it's like 4 years you didn't hear the word chips being said.
Yeah,
Like,
you
Yeah.
would have said it yourself.
Yeah, you would
like you have to do it when you're over there.
absolutely would have become a douche who comes back to New York. It's like, oh, I'll have the chips.
Yeah.
Oh, you call them French fries.
I've been in the bloody old
Yeah.
country for a while.
Oh
I know
yeah, I
people-
came here on the tube. Oh, sorry, the
There
subway.
are people in Australia that have been for 6 months who do that.
Yeah, yeah.
Why? But it's
My
so,
ex-girlfriend did that before she even went to England.
like, talk
She
with
was-
an accent.
Yeah,
with all-
dude. She lives there now, but
Go, Can I have a butty? What do they call the bacon sandwiches?
bacon butty.
A bacon butty.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't understand why he's like the guy, the English guy. Clearly, for some reason, they've cast him. Like they didn't need an English guy. Like whose idea was for the English guy? Because then they have to have all this backstory
Yeah,
to
it's-
explain why he's English.
I assume he was an English, like specified English in the draft script.
I reckon
Yeah.
he was.
Because he's not a strong enough actor just to be like.
Oh, he's terrible.
just to be like.
Yeah.
We need to build the show
I think
around this
the idea
guy.
is that because he's British, it helps him fuck.
Oh.
He's like cashing in on his like exotic.
Because
penis
I think he
and
is
accent.
supposed to be some sort of like proto Barney Stinson.
Yeah, he's an international playboy.
Oh, a stockbroker, and he's always having sex a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I thought he was the loser, or is Chow the loser?
Well,
No,
Mike
well,
and
well,
Chow are
different-
kind of...
Mike and
Different
Chow are
brands.
both losers, but different kinds of losers, I think.
So
Mike-
we're dealing with three losers here.
Yeah.
Mike fucks.
Kind of like me right now.
Yeah.
Kind of like this podcast.
Yeah. Mike fucks,
Excuse
but
you.
only
That's actually
his...
transphobic.
I'm the guest.
Mike-
To say who it is.
Mike fucks, but he only fucks his bitch girlfriend.
He doesn't like the girlfriend
Yeah.
that much.
Yeah.
She's
She-
not funny. She's always just like angry at him.
Because they
Oh yeah,
can't make
that's
her
her
funny.
role throughout
she
the
hasn't.
entire
She didn't
show.
tell a joke the whole time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's her role for the whole show is to just cause problems. for
Yeah.
them.
And in this
And have a
episode,
period in this case.
episode, she is awful.
Yeah.
Just because they make her a monster for having her period.
Yeah.
So the period. That's the first. Sorry, they all blended into.
Yeah,
one.
that was the first one.
That's the first episode. She's got a period. She's horny, and she's like, "Please have sex," and he's like, "Yuck." That is actually the episode pitch that they would have been like,
Yeah,
"Should we
like,
do
pretty
that for an
much.
episode?" And they're like, "Yeah, that seems strong.
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
seems real strong."
Which is like today,
Halfway through season one.
like any HBO sitcom or FX sitcom would be about like a guy who kind of likes it. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it'd be like
Yeah.
the guy likes it too much.
yeah. The
Oh,
guy.
now there would definitely be a thing of like we stand a woke king who wants to fuck on the rag.
He like
But
eats
then-
me out on my period.
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
And
writing.
then-
I've got a draft script about that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it'll be
I'm
like
working
some
on.
girls being like, "You mean like it's Sex and the City?" Being like, "You mean you're dating a vampire?" You know, and they're just trying to make vampire work over 22 minutes, just saying it again and again.
The line,
It's like one guy they call him the Daywalker and stuff.
the line I've used a couple times is like, if a girl's been like, "Hey, we can still go on the date if you want, but just like, I don't care, but just so you know, I'm on my period. We can
You
research
go
one."
jackpot.
I know the actual words I've used before is like, "Yeah, I'm chill with it. I'm pretty woke."
You say that.
Yeah, I've just
Do
been like,
you-
"Yeah, I'm pretty woke." So
Do you reckon if there was like a wrestler, this is mostly for you, whose
Yeah.
character was like that, he was like super woke, his finisher would be called the Rainbow Kiss?
Oh, that's pretty
Ooh.
good. It would be that or like the cancel. Or like
The
cancelled or
cancellation,
something.
yeah.
Something about cancelling, yeah.
The cancel king. You know, people try to cancel me because of my Polynesian poly stuff. And
I love Justin Trudeau just being like, "Oh yeah, there's more out there."
he was so
You
funny.
gotta catch him.
He was-
all.
Did he actually say
Yeah,
that?
he was basically like, "I can't guarantee more work."
I
come
did a
out."
bit. I was doing a bit about it on my show
Stan
this
a woke
year.
king.
It was because I thought it was so funny because the first one he came out and he was like, "Oh, He's like, I don't remember it, but obviously it's happened. I'm really sorry. The next day, like another 2 come out. Photos, and
he's like, look, and he's like,
look, I did a bit. I did a bit of blackface. And then a video came out, and he's like, I was doing it so much.
Man, I love.
It was my favorite.
He's like
thing
waiting
to do.
for a pause. He's like,
wiping the paint off. He's like, yeah, look, there's some stuff out there.
I was gonna say like pause.
Just
Is like,
in black.
I'll still do it. He's like completely brown, like under his suit.
Oh, totally, yeah. He's probably like, when it finally got, it's like he wanted to get into politics.
Yeah.
And he had to give it up. He must have been so sad.
He's made it out relatively unscathed.
It came out
But
at
he
the right
isn't
time.
quite the darling of world politics anymore because that's just in.
Yeah, but
Human
he's still like
Jacinda Ardern.
hot and people like.
Yeah.
He's
It's
still
also
a
like he did
wrong time.
apologize, and he's actually doing good things as well. He's
Like-
also doing bad things. Like,
But I
don't
think
know.
if it was this side of the latest Black Lives Matter movement,
Oh,
'cause there
he'd
had
be
been
in much more
but I
trouble.
just think at the moment he would not have lasted.
Yeah, he'd be
because he
in
won
much
that
more
election
trouble.
really easily. It's kind of disheartening to see how
maybe I
little
should
people care.
run for public office. Maybe that's the move.
I think yes.
Yes.
Yeah, because I would love to watch.
What's my platform?
I'll fuck you all.
I'll fuck your wives. I'll fuck your boyfriend.
I'll let you fuck my wife.
What
I,
would your
I would
platform
assume
be?
legalized
Yeah.
weed would be a big one.
It wouldn't be a big one, but it'd be on the list.
Would it be must have sex with your wife when she's on her period?
No, it would be. What would it be? It would be like a selling point. It would be like a vote for me is if elected, every citizen, if they so choose, can fuck my wife.
Oh my
That's the
god!
platform
How
I'm
does your
running.
wife feel about that?
Who cares?
What
How
about
would you-
Like,
how-
be a good first lady.
A more cutting question, at least for you, would be: how would you feel about me fucking your wife?
Great
Oh.
question, Rosie.
Yeah, I regret to. I drop out of this race.
Oh, it's over. That's like the Mal Meninga turnaround.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was about as
Like
quick,
within
yeah.
30 seconds, it's
Yeah.
being like, oh, it's too hard. I'm out.
Well, I
Oh,
thought
good.
about one for you.
Yeah.
I've just done the GST question about the cake.
yeah.
I'm done his whole career.
You
You're John
would-
Hewson.
You would
Yeah.
do massive injection of cash into the arts
Sure.
as long as you're the subject of the arts.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like-
yeah. I'd be
So like we're putting
dictatorial-
You know
we're,
what?
we're
Interesting.
putting millions of dollars in the opera house, putting on maybe let's say stand-up comedy that Andrew Hastings host.
Yeah.
Every
It'd just be
day.
like- or if it's like you're a musician, it's like there's grants available to write songs about Andrew
Yeah.
Hastings.
Yeah. Or let me in the
Yeah.
band to do a solo and fuck your wife.
The Archibald
Yeah.
this year is unprecedented funding, but of course all the portraits are of.
Big
Andrew
public
Hastings.
funded show, big name in lights. Andrew Hastings opening for
Yeah,
Will Anderson.
yeah.
you still just want to open.
You could have anything and you're still opening.
Opening for Will Anderson.
And at the end, and he occasionally retweets your fringe shows in the container.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All I want to do is sell out the container. That's the dream.
You could do that.
I've done it.
We
have done that.
Sorry, I don't know.
I was
sounded
there.
earnest.
I was there. It was pretty close.
Did you buy a
Yeah.
ticket?
No, I opened.
Oh, you did the Hastings to Will
Jamie
Anderson
Kirk
thing.
opening
Yeah.
for Andrew Hastings.
Yeah.
Opening for Will Anderson.
Anderson.
Yeah, I was the Andrew Hastings to his Will Anderson that
Yeah.
night.
Oh, well, that's great. I wish I was at the show.
It was so good. It was actually really good.
Oh, I'm
Thank you.
sure it was. That room is great when it's full.
I
prefer the
I
terminal.
quite like it when it's full.
Yeah, the terminal is pretty special.
Yeah,
But
the
other
terminal
one's
was good. I haven't done that one and it's been full though.
Again, in this
It
episode,
was actually quite empty when I did it.
Yeah, well, it's when it's empty, it's empty.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I did the Nasty show there a few times. And when it's full, it's a nice little spot. When it's not, I'm repeating your sentiments.
Yeah.
Well, good
But-
input there.
Yeah.
All right.
repeating the sentiments but bragging that you got
Guys,
on the show.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
I'm pretty stoned.
We were speculating
figured you
before
would be.
before the
Yeah.
recording.
I think that's cool, man. I
I'm
think
straightening up
it's
for
awesome.
bouldering. I gotta
And
go
I'm
bouldering
proud of
soon,
you.
but let's keep potting.
Here's a question
you
for
got more
you,
notes?
Tons.
I'd love
yeah,
that.
yeah. So we've kind of delved into what you think about Mike, you, and Chow and Liz.
Okay.
What's your impression? This is your first episode you've ever watched of Status Quo,
The black one.
the black guy.
Oh, the dude. Yeah, it's like, what's his accent? Is he British as well? Trying to do
No.
an American
He's like
accent?
rich. He's like fancy.
the
posh.
the running joke with him is just like he's a gangster rapper who's actually like he's a white guy.
Like Kanye West.
who acts like a
Yeah.
white guy. Yeah.
But he acts like a
Except-
kind of like upper class
Yeah,
white
except
guy.
I mean, it's a
Yeah.
weird kind of like, it is like a weird stab at kind of, it feels like a weird tokenism thing
Yeah.
to be like,
Yeah.
we've got a black person in our show, but he is, he's pretty fancy and he's
And
pretty white.
Does that
Also,
mean I have
much
to
too
read-
often the joke is he's gay. Like,
Well,
Yeah, there's a lot of gay panic.
Chow seems to be
Chow
quite
saying things are gay.
homophobic.
Yeah.
He says gay quite a lot.
Are we now talking about the second episode?
let's talk about this. I would like to talk about the second.
They all
episode.
merge into
Okay,
one.
the second
It's like
episode
I'm
is
with
called
Sam on this.
Mission
Telemovie to me.
Impossible, which is status quo fires his posse when Mike and Ewan tell him
Now-
they are all yes men.
I liked this episode. I thought it was a
Thank
fun
you,
thing.
because I have some things to say. This is
Oh,
the one I
terrific.
took
Okay.
most notes about.
However, when status quo invites the neighbors to be his new posse, he treats Ewan like a slave instead of a friend.
Because it did. That was quite interesting because it was like, and Ewan is just like a star fucker. He just went along with anything.
Yeah.
Also, I hated them saying star effer.
I know, that
Like-
was
Yeah,
so lame.
but
Come up
that's-
with like just say groupie or
But
something.
this was 20
Like,
years ago.
Yeah.
It was probably
Yeah.
edgy to be like star.
Yeah, I
effer.
think they wanted to say effer because it sounds.
It's
the
obvious that
closest
they
you
wanted
can.
to say star fucker, but like, just, I don't know, say groupie. It just sounds so clumsy.
Did you guys
I
ever
don't
go to Starfuckers at Club 77?
know. Yes.
Yeah, big
No.
time.
Take me back.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude. You guys want
You
to
are-
take MDMA right now?
Yeah, yeah.
You are
Let's do it.
You are dressed right now like you're on your way there.
Oh, man, please.
It
Take me
looks
back.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like that looks like someone
Yeah,
who would
yeah,
be
yeah,
going
yeah.
to Star
Hastings
Fuckers.
is always dressed like Club 77 might come back at any
Yeah,
moment.
that's true. Yeah.
He's like, I'm ready.
Yeah, he's like, here we are. Who wants cat?
Yes. Man, I would
Did you hear there are dogs in the bathrooms?
Are the clubs open? Like where you
No.
could
I don't
go?
think so. Because you have to be like sitting down. Really, is kind of
Oh
the rule.
yeah.
Yeah, you got to just take your caps at home now.
It's a lot of home stuff.
I've been doing a lot of it's been great.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Bit much.
Wow.
Bit much.
Episode.
Yeah.
Might even have I might have a little dance tonight.
So much respect there, Hastings, because everyone was clearly moving on.
Yeah.
Just letting you guys know I'm taking drugs. I hope my boss doesn't listen to this.
Oh, that's so funny.
I hope he does.
I reckon he's
Probably
not
just a
going to.
fan.
Yeah.
What do you
That's why
like?
he hired you. 'cause
If
he
you
loves your
were
comedy.
in a job and your boss listened to your podcast where you talked very openly about using drugs, like, could they fire you?
Yes.
Say it was all a joke.
Yeah, like this is a comedy podcast.
I think you
per
could
se,
go
like-
pretty far with a wrongful termination suit if they fired you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, it depends what was in your contract. If it said you can't do a podcast talking about drugs,
My
I
thing
reckon
would
you'd
be
in
more
trouble.
the-
There's also a lot of like NDA stuff about like talking about your role publicly and stuff.
Yes.
There's
right.
also like I probably said stuff on the pod that implies I've done parts of my job poorly, which they may use as an excuse
that's
to
true.
But I
fire
don't
me
thi-
for being like,
They
yeah, I
would
put
never fire
MDMA in my asshole last week or whatever I did.
Right, but you'd be a great employee, I assume.
They love me down there. I had
Yeah,
my
of
performance
course.
review the other day. They
Yeah.
love me.
What'd they say?
They said that I'm doing a great job.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great news. I'll sleep easy tonight.
Yeah.
And yet I can't get a fucking job.
Yeah, they're big fans of me down there. He actually used the phrase "everybody loves you" in the performance review.
Can you get Rosie a job?
Rosie already went for that job and didn't get it.
Oh, I'm
It's
sorry.
genuinely
It
true.
is hard to get.
Although this is
This is pre-COVID.
I went for an
Had to twist the knife.
I
So
the,
make clear what happened.
This was a long time ago.
I had an interview, like a job
Couldn't
interview
get it on merit.
over Zoom the other day with the main competitor for the job that I kind of got the ass from last year.
Oh, that
so
would be nice.
wouldn't that be a fucking sweet fuck you to get that gig?
Oh God.
Yeah.
That would
I'd
be
love
pretty
that.
sick.
And do you think you'll get it?
I'm in with a shot purely because I used to work there.
Just say
Like,
I'll give you all the secrets.
I did.
Oh, in the meeting.
Pretty much,
Oh,
yeah.
you gotta hold the cut. Oh,
I've done that in job interviews where I've been like, "Yeah, I can give you information."
Yeah, but you hold on to it. You're like, you
Yeah,
hire
yeah,
me. I'll give
I-
you.
Oh, I
I
didn't.
wanted the
I didn't
information.
tell them the information then.
Oh,
I'm like,
nice,
I've got
nice.
the information.
Yeah.
Nice. That's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
You're a snitch. You're both
Yeah.
snitches.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. Scabs.
absolutely. I'd like tried.
That's
to
not
help,
really a
like,
scab. That's more me like getting revenge.
I like help
Wow.
try steal clients and shit.
Yeah,
and stuff.
probably that makes it.
It's less snitching and more like I know what goes on, so I know how you can
Do you
get
have a
ahead.
vendetta against the other place?
It's just business.
It's just business. That's good. Yeah, it's business.
Yeah.
You said that in the Zoom. Like, it's business, baby.
yeah.
Yeah, nothing gets in the way of Rosie and her money.
Yeah.
That's important. She's all about.
Except
Rosie, gotta get paid.
Yeah, she's all about the banjos, $10 notes.
Sick.
That's awesome. There's an annoying guy.
I've actually never heard that.
I've never heard that ever.
That feels like something I would have
Like
heard.
2 weeks ago.
Did you hear from Yaz? I feel like it would have come out of Yaz's
no,
mouth.
it wasn't. Yeah,
That's awesome. There's
Yeah.
a guy at the cafe I go to who's so annoying. He always tries to come up with a new name for for like money. You know when people are just like,
Yeah, just a couple of lobsters.
yeah, no, but they'll be like, oh, that's $4 dues or whatever.
Yeah.
He's just having a crack. The other day he goes, what did he say? He goes, there's 4 dingoes, thanks. I was like, you can't call dollars dingoes.
Yeah.
Is he
so
a
good.
white guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Would it make it different?
What would
I
it
feel
matter?
like maybe, yeah. For dingoes, I don't know.
It would
Something
only
about
be
that feels
okay
off.
if he was a dingo.
Yeah, if he was actual Australian wild dog. then
Yeah.
absolutely.
I'd be like, this is a great cafe you've got,
Yeah.
Australian wild dog.
Woof woof.
You think the line would be at the door as a cafe run by a dog?
You would. You'd go there for a
Yeah,
coffee.
fuck yeah, I would.
I'd go.
Everyone's like, you heard about this dingo doing lattes?
Yeah.
Apparently it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Dingo's just there, like
You gotta go check it out.
like Radiohead albums or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just like a barista.
Yeah, it's like, you know, the Radiohead came in here one day. They love our coffee.
All right, you've
This
apparently
movie,
had things to
sorry.
say about.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I do.
Jamie.
I want to talk about this one because Sam, what we do after we've talked about all the episodes is we assemble like a writer's room where we try and fix the sitcom.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. There's nothing to fix.
Well, this,
So yeah, I'm out the door.
well, yeah, it's interesting you say that because this one, like, not only takes ideas from us, even though we're 20 years in the future,
Yeah.
but also, like, it's the only episode of the show so far in 14 episodes that has a plot for all of the main characters.
Well, this is
no matter
Status's
how-
first major plot line.
Yes,
is it
and
not?
also it's not about how status quo might be a latent homosexual. Ewan does not get to be a shit cunt in this. The whole thing where Mike and Chow don't really get on, like, outside of people, gives Mike something to do other than be a whiny bitch.
But that's
Yeah.
also, like, that's a stolen Seinfeld story.
Oh, but it's a stock.
When George and
It's
Alexa
a-
go
that's
down.
been in
Yeah.
so
Yeah, it's
many
every
sitcoms.
sitcom.
But also the craziest thing in this episode, there might actually be one. I mean, there's a few faults I think in this episode. The craziest one is the magic storyline. It's not needed, and it's wedged in at the end for no. Like you could cut that.
Hard
out in-
disagree.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Because to me, like, I was going to say, no
I
matter-
think that's
it is-
weirdly. I think that was just a reason to give Liz some sort
Yes.
of storyline, which normally they just be like, "Well, let's just not fucking
Yeah.
bother."
Oh,
It-
so you're saying it's actually
I'm
kind of
saying
like a work thing to do.
it, not
well,
work,
just because
but, like,
they normally like would happily ignore Liz.
it is
Yeah.
inconsequential, but it is something that she gets to do without just being like, you're a slut or you're a bitch, which are the two options they
Yeah.
give her usually.
And so now she's a
So this time you're a
magician.
dork.
Yeah, now she's a dork.
But it was so like wedged in where it was like,
Yeah, it was-
last minute I reckon they were like, what do people think is lame? And they're like, magic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Magic? Let's just
But
assume it's
It
a
is
magic
very
thing.
like.
But for
shoved in
an
there.
ensemble sitcom, every episode of this show so far leaves at least one or two characters out of their like A and B stories. This is the first one I think where everyone gets something to do.
Can
And
I
the-
ask you about a specific scene in this episode?
Yes.
You know when Chow sticks his hand, he drops soup on his hands,
Yep.
and he'd been fight. What were on his hands?
I believe that's from the video game he'd been playing.
Yeah, it was like he had
Right.
braces on his hands because he just fucked his hands up from playing too much
Does
video
he
games.
work at that store?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
He works at a Vietnamese restaurant.
Okay, that makes sense then.
Yeah.
That's why he was there. Because I just not having watched the first
Yeah.
episodes, I didn't know that.
What's
Also, like, this takes our advice that we made. Like, it essentially does everything that we said so far. Like, it gives Ewan an embarrassing secret, which when we came up with it was comic books. But this is like, it's literally the same. Like, he keeps celebrity magazines under his bed.
Yeah.
And like, I think it works. Like, it's funny the
Yeah.
idea that like, again, like, it veers a little too close because it's American Pie, a little too close to, like, celebrity magazines gay, dude. Like, you know,
Totally.
but like,
Yeah.
but at least it's something that humanizes him other than like, what's his weakness? Maybe he fucks too much. Sorry, Hastings. But
it's all right.
Well, no, totally.
the
It
only
had
way
that big
I'll grow.
kind of resolution moment where he spoke about friendship, even though it was one of the. It was maybe some of the hackest dialogue
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
you could ever see in your life. He was human, and he was like, "I thought we were friends." Well, I mean, Status was like, "I thought we were friends." And
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, friends don't do this to each other.
well, because
Yeah.
up till
Also, Keenan Thompson.
and,
yeah,
and,
yeah, I know, right?
and-
And he was in the
20 years
next
ago.
episode as well.
yeah, and the original Black Power Ranger
Really?
Yeah.
is DJ Cheddar, I believe.
Do you
That-
think he's
oh,
in the
really?
Hold on,
remaining
Black
episodes?
Race or Black
'Cause
Color
I think
Power
he
Ranger?
joined
he-
Saturday
the
Night
original-
Live a few years after
Both.
that.
I think he might be.
No, he was
Um,
removed from. He was not on SNL by that point.
No,
When
but
did
I think he
join
might be
SNL?
in like he might be a recurring member of the posse
Imagine
now.
if this is his big break.
I think I think like after Keenan and
Wasn't he a
Kel,
child
this is-
star?
Yeah, this is after Keenan and Kel.
When would he have gone on Saturday Night Live? It wouldn't have been too far after this.
I think it
think-
was 04 or something.
Because isn't he the longest serving cast member now?
He's
Yeah.
been going for so long.
Yeah. Because this was 2001 and 2.
Did anyone go on to do anything after this show?
John Cho.
John
has had a
Cho's
career.
done a bunch.
What's John Cho doing now?
He's the lead in the upcoming Netflix version of Cowboy Bebop.
Oh, cool.
Wasn't he in a sitcom that was kind of like a bit of a cult hit?
He was in a sitcom that like was critically acclaimed called Selfie, but it like got cancelled
Yeah,
pretty quickly, which
I've
was
heard of
famous
that.
because he was the first Asian American romantic lead on TV.
Yeah.
He's also
Oh.
been Sulu in the new Star Trek.
Oh, yeah,
franchise.
Oh, really?
He's obviously been Harold from Harold
Yeah.
and Kumar.
Yeah, so
And
he's killing
also been
Yeah, he's doing so
he was
good.
in a like pretty underrated like horror movie from the last couple of years called Searching, which is great.
Oh, I've heard of
It's
that.
so cool how like all these like
One of
people
the
that
MILF
become cool
guys.
actors all have to do the most dog shit stuff.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like everyone does. Like there's probably like one actor or maybe like a handful of actors that have.
It's
Yeah,
like
the only
just
two-
Daniel Day-Lewis.
I feel like
Yeah, totally.
the only two people who seem to have had like quite decent careers of the main cast of this, John Cho and Lawrence DeMille, because Lawrence DeMille ended up on Grey's Anatomy.
Which one's Lawrence DeMille?
Liz.
Oh, she's great though. You know?
Yeah, she's good.
She just doesn't have enough airtime.
yeah, the problem
Yeah.
is the script and stuff.
And the character
Totally.
that she has to play.
yeah.
Well, I mean, she's great at it, but it's just like the most. Yeah, it's like the breakfast radio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is like the show's dynamic. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
These crazy guys.
Yeah.
And then you're an annoying woman who tries to semi keep them in check.
Yeah.
When I become Australia's most prominent shock jock,
Yeah.
in 20 years' time, Rose is going to be my the Jackie O to my Kyle.
Awesome.
I think she's going to be like, Andrew, you can't say that. Stop it. Oh, you're so cheeky.
But you know, like they get paid like $5 million
Yeah, I
each
know,
a
it's
year. I would
insane.
do that for $5 million.
Absolutely.
I reckon it'd be more than that, to be honest.
Well, apparently
For like Sanderlands, for sure.
What
Oh, I heard
probably-
too. They've both been there for fucking forever.
they're probably underpaid for
Yeah.
how much revenue that show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
what me and Rose are going to be.
Shock jocks.
Well, I'm going to be a shock jock. Rose is going to be there.
I'm
Have
the
you
shocked
started doing
jock.
some demos?
Yeah, this podcast, you're on it right
This
now.
is a demo.
Yeah.
For your radio show.
Yeah, we're interviewing you.
Right. Okay.
Are they talking about
Keeping
their
in
shock
mind-
jock demos again?
Keeping
They're
in
always,
mind-
every time I go to the bathroom, they're always
Who's
pulling
Ja-
out the sound effects
Who's
board.
Jamie in all this then?
I'm not on it.
Is,
I'm the
no, is
sound-
that producer who like occasionally pops up, like Gracie on Martin Malloy,
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
or
they bring-
Sean.
who I
Michael.
believe ended up becoming some sort of neo-Nazi.
I'm sick of
Now
Jamie stealing
that
my
is
limelight.
cool stuff.
I'm
Yeah.
the, I'm the
gonna
Sean.
fire him.
I'm the Shawn Michaels of the podcast, baby.
Yeah,
Oh.
absolutely.
And
I'm gonna fire him for stealing my focus.
And
'Cause
who
I'm
am
the
I
star.
then in this?
You're the guest. You're
Oh.
the Sam Worthington stand-in.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
How's Avatar 2 coming along? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
great.
the kind of stuff.
I'm working on my accent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should I read the third episode thing, or do you have more to say about this one?
No, I think this episode is good.
I thought it was pretty. I thought it was. Better
I
than
think
the
you might be
previous
right that
episode.
it's the best
I think
episode so far.
it's the platonic ideal of what it should be as a sitcom. It should be funnier, but like it's trying stuff with all its characters.
Okay, and this next episode.
Okay, this next episode 15, faking the band.
Back to
Chow and Ewan pretend to
No, actually, I didn't mind
pretend
the
to be
fun.
rock stars to score women. Mike makes Liz angry when he proposes while drunk and forgets all about it. This episode shit me to tears.
Can I say,
Why?
loved every second of this. I thought this was better than the previous
I actually
episode.
kind of
Really?
like this one too.
It was cheeky.
Oh.
It was silly.
I
it was
just-
Fun.
unreal.
It was goofy and loose.
I love the ending.
I just
thought it was great.
something about the band thing just makes me cringe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought this one
Did
actually.
you see too much of yourself in
Yeah.
it, dude?
I like
yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
maybe yeah. Genuinely that could be a thing.
I think that there's
Um,
probably two things here you're relating to too much. The big night, not remembering what you did the next day, like
Yeah.
hungover.
Oh,
Yeah, so
I had a
hungover
bad one
and
of them
regret.
recently.
I didn't mind that storyline.
classic
it's like a-
hangover structure.
It's
Yes.
it's like a
Absolutely.
decent device to like have him keep getting it wrong.
Yeah, and I thought
Like-
like Mike was out of the 3 episodes where like the first one he's an absolute pig of a human. The second one he's kind of like on the sidelines. This one like gets him to be the main, but like they get him to still be kind of a dick, but he's also kind of sweet.
He's trying to do the right thing, but due to circumstance, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
he just kind of keeps getting unlucky. Like the and then when he gets the tenor to come in and sing
Yeah,
the song,
Yeah.
and it's just the whole thing's a calamity. Do you know what I mean? He should have just written it himself. Why did he get tried to do it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's also, I think, like there's a couple of instances of specific good lines in this episode for this sitcom.
Interesting, because I was going to say a lot of the joke writing is horrific.
Oh, it's
Absolutely.
fucking
That is,
horrible.
I think, the main takeaway I had from the show is that the storylines or whatever sitcoms are like. There's probably only 20 storylines you can kind of have, and they're all variations of that.
Yeah.
But some of the punch ups in this are fucked. Like they're not even jokes.
I've watched 15 episodes of this now, and I've barely laughed. Like,
Well, I can tell you the two things in this that I thought were funny. The first is that, like, this is like such a stock standard sitcom like line, but I thought the way John Cho delivered it was good. When like he told the women there he was in a band and they like said something, he's like, honestly, usually I don't get this far.
yeah.
Oh, I laughed at that as well. I
Yeah.
thought that was great.
That's
and
funny.
and
Because he freaks out. That was good
Yeah.
acting as well.
yeah. And
Yeah.
the second
John
line,
Cho is being like the best performer of the show is a running thing. We have like the consensus is
He
he's the
he gets
star.
written into it more as it goes because he's obviously the star.
Yeah, right.
And the second line I liked so much because so much of the humor in this, Taunton, you're right, is like bad joke writing, but like desperately trying to be raunchy as
Yeah.
well.
Totally.
Whereas this part like was almost like deliberately absurd.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
Status Quo is leaving the room and says ciao, as in the Italian word bye.
Yeah.
And Chow says status, and like just because he thinks
That-
he's saying his name.
I mean, that's funny.
That's
though.
all-
all.
he looks
That's also
just-
not bad. Like
Yeah.
that kind of old like vaudevillian like
Yeah.
mix-up thing is. I think that's.
Well, that's what I'm
always funny.
saying. Like it's well acted, and it's a line that you don't expect to come from. Like usually it'd be like "ciao," and they'd be like "boner," like
Yeah,
something
yeah.
like
Yeah.
that. And like you'd be like, "Well, this doesn't fit." They're just trying to say the word "boner."
I wonder if, like, and this is crazy, but I wonder if that was like an improvised line. Because I'm like, if those writers thought of that, surely they would have used
could
it in
do
a bigger
better.
moment. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is interesting you bring up the writer
That could be an
because
an
I
improv.
ended up IMDbing every single person who wrote
What
on
did that-
this.
what-
I have
Yeah.
been meaning to do that,
That's
and
great.
I
don't
haven't
know what
yet.
else they've worked on.
So the most prominent duo, I believe, their names are. I might be getting the first names the wrong way around.
Mark
but it's
Henteman is one.
Barker
and Weitzman, who went on to create with Seth MacFarlane American Dad.
Well,
and like
oh,
ran
really?
it.
Well, the name that I always think of first is Mark Henteman, who wrote a lot for Family Guy.
Yeah. So the writing staff is pretty split between people that have gone on to like long careers with Seth MacFarlane. Like I think one of the guys running Off Center still runs American Dad, which like people say is not bad.
I kind of like American.
You know,
Dad.
it's one of those things you just
They
see
also
you see an episode of it.
They
now.
also say it got a lot better. The other half of the writing staff seem to like write for baby sitcoms. You know, like things like things like Keenan and Kel, essentially.
Right, yeah,
things
yeah.
on Nickelodeon, and then this was like their
Yeah, like
adult.
iCarly. And
Yeah,
That's
all that
not a
shit.
bad gig to get into.
Yeah,
to
and
be
this
honest.
and this was like their fucking raunchy adult thing, and then they kind of like stopped forever or went back to like Nickelodeon or teen like
Right.
sitcom stuff.
Do you know what's crazy? Because I don't know. Like I went on the Wikipedia page on the way here. It's still rated like it was getting well over like 2.5 million people.
People
an
watched
episode.
TV back then.
Well, I mean, also in America, but it's like it got 2 seasons.
Yeah.
This show.
It
Like,
didn't. Oh, it got 1 and a bit season.
Oh, did they cut it mid?
7
second
episodes into the second.
Yeah.
season?
4 episodes, I think, didn't air.
Yeah,
It also
Or
could have
that
been
were-
like
it
the
was
numbers
written.
they were getting weren't in the demos that they needed to get them in or whatever.
Yeah,
as well.
there's a lot of
I had to
elderly
learn.
people.
I had to learn about that for pro wrestling stuff recently. It was like a debate that happened in pro wrestling.
Oh, really?
recently about like one show. The 2 shows were head to head, and one show got more numbers, and the other show was like, "Yeah, but we got you in the demo," and everyone was like arguing about it online. It was all very uncool.
No, that's interesting.
yeah. Well, also just because of 2002. Like the least popular sitcom in 2002, whatever views it would get would be in the top 20 now.
Yeah.
Oh, like top
absolutely.
10
Like
now,
like
probably.
numbers like Friends or Frasier, like people 20 million watching is unheard
Well,
of.
we also
Hmm.
don't know what like what people watch. Sitcoms people don't really watch now. We don't know what
So
streaming numbers are. Do you know
Netflix,
what I mean?
Netflix
Yeah.
don't publicize their
Yeah,
numbers.
so you don't really know
yeah,
what people
it's
are
streaming
watching.
and in America like DVR, so like people watching it like a day later or something.
But how do they get the streaming numbers?
They don't. So like it's all guesswork now, and it's still like that's what.
Well, Netflix do that thing now where they're like top 10 in your country today.
yeah, but a lot of people are still
yeah.
like.
Well, Netflix have the numbers,
Yeah.
but they don't publish.
But it's like
them,
I reckon
yeah.
Yeah.
something like The Last Dance, for example.
Yeah.
I reckon I would love to see how many people.
Yeah,
got their eyes
Tiger
on
King
that.
or something
I
like
reckon
that.
you'd be looking
yeah.
at like And worldwide. I reckon,
Yeah.
100 million people probably watch that.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that's the problem with a lot of like people. A problem that people have a lot with mainstream TV these days is like they're still using like the Nielsen model, which is like they don't even count.
That's like a box thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not even
I-
every person in America. It's families they give it to, which
I
usually
nearly was
tend
in-
to be
Yeah.
in like middle America.
I was nearly one of the households that got one like
You
2
should have
years
got
ago.
it.
Well, yeah, we were in the process, but it ended up being too much effort. I was like, this will be like really interesting.
It's
But yeah, they were
actually-
going to put a thing in our fucking house.
It is weird, like, because it is. I don't know how it works
Yeah.
at all, and it can't be accurate.
No.
Sometimes I reckon there's no one watching TV.
It also doesn't factor into like
Yeah,
how
Saturday
many people are in the
Arvo.
room
Everyone's
and-
down watching their kid play footy.
Totally, absolutely. There are times when it's like, when I used to work at MTV years ago, we had a show, and on the ratings, I voiced a show. If it goes below like 400 or something, you just get like it's just a 1 or something.
Yeah.
And so they
Well,
can't
it's like the asterisk in the HSC.
Yeah.
You
and
get a
they
UA
can't-
below
and
30.
and it's like 0 to whatever it is, 200, 400 or something. And they just don't know if anyone's... And I'm convinced this show, there was just 0 people watching. It was on at 11 o'clock on MTV, which is a channel that I think...
11
Yeah.
a.m. or p.m.
PM.
Yeah.
Who's watching MTV at... well, I mean, the
Oh,
channel's
there could be
gone
a few
now.
losers at home, like just being stoned, like, oh, maybe some music's going to come
Yeah.
on.
No, I don't have
Maybe.
Foxtel.
Yeah, you had to have
Yeah.
Foxtel.
yeah,
That's
so it's
true.
got to be rich losers.
Yeah, who live with
Yeah.
their parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we start wrapping this pod up?
Well, we got to do the last segment.
All right.
What is the last segment?
Let's crack
What is
through
the
it though. I
time,
got to
by the
go.
way? I have a heart out as well.
Yeah.
The time is 25 to 5.
The podcast's supposed to go for an hour.
How long have we gone for?
An hour and 5. Jamie's just shaking his head for my lack
Said-
of commitment.
yeah,
We're just strapping in.
Hastings can't leave.
How about I come back tomorrow? We'll do another 2.
Now we're cooking.
So the
I'll watch some more episodes.
the segment is what we mentioned before. We're a writer's room brought in to fix the show. We've done this with our last few guests. We've done this with Laura Coleman, David Woodhead, and Alex White. So
Some changes
yeah,
we've made.
all of their changes are now canon, so we have to work
Yeah, we
within
have to
those
Oh,
guidelines.
Move
okay.
forward
So
with
we've-
the changes.
This is interesting.
All right, so we've broken Liz and Mike up.
Oh.
Mike is now
Muslim.
a Muslim, and I assume Arabic.
Yeah,
Um,
this show's like immediately post 9/11.
This came out a month after
Interesting.
9/11.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
that's
so
crazy.
Mike's
Did
an
they ever
Arabic-
talk about it?
No.
No, I don't think
oh,
Mike,
there was a
Mike
one
wasn't
brief-
an Arab. He was just a guy that's...
All right, well, I'm making that change now. He's
Okay.
not a white Muslim. He's an Arabic Muslim guy. And he's not played by Eddie K. Thomas anymore because Eddie K. Thomas sucks.
Status quo is gay.
He is gay.
He came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
He
He
came
is
out in
gay.
a very special episode
Yeah.
we came up with.
Oh,
yeah.
great.
Um,
Awesome. That's awesome.
Ewan is Jewish now, I believe.
Yep.
We mostly just changed races.
Yeah, that is all the big changes.
And Chow in the last episode fucked Liz.
Yes,
Now,
yes,
that,
yeah.
I like that, and I think
Yeah.
that is the direction it needs to go in.
We don't
Because to
necessar-
me, they're the 2 stars.
Yeah, we haven't
Yeah.
necessarily made them dating, but they fucked in the last episode.
Yeah, it was
a
one of
bit
those
a
like,
scramble to
uh-oh,
stop.
we made a mistake
they
that they
like-
do in every long funny
Yeah.
Did they
running
like
sitcom.
it?
Yeah, oh, of course they love
But then
Oh,
obviously
great.
they do that thing where like maybe that's the start of this episode is like they wake up with the like L-shaped bed covers and like
Yeah.
oh, we can't tell Mike about this.
Yeah,
Do you think is Mike okay from the breakup?
well,
yeah, he got over it pretty quick.
No,
He's
he's
sad.
like-
He's
he's a
sad.
sad
He's
loser
a sad man. Like we've made him lean into the sad because he's an Arabic Muslim
Oh,
living
right,
in
yeah,
New
yeah.
York
Forgot about
after
that.
9/11,
yeah, so our job,
and his girlfriend just broke
our
up with
job
him.
is
Because
fix-
he's Arabic.
No,
Okay.
because they're not meant for
they're
each
not
other.
compatible.
Yeah.
Okay.
So our job is to fix the show. We're taking story pitches. Sam, what have you got? Working within these frameworks.
So that's the situation now. I don't. Okay.
Like, what could we just? I feel like you
I,
could almost.
I have an idea
Okay.
for a
You could
situation
almost
I have.
stick with the second episode and just kind of tweak it.
Oh.
I have an idea for an episode I want to run.
Okay.
Okay, you go.
Where status, and this is again to get Status Quo and Liz in the forefront, who are 2 of the lesser seen people.
Yeah.
That Status Quo is forced by the record label to make a video featuring hella bitches.
Okay.
And the single is called Hella
Hella
Bitches.
Bitches.
Yeah, with a Z.
Even though Status Quo has just come out as like gay to his record label and stuff, but they're still like, nah, you go stay in the closet, man. Like you're doing this, and they want, and so Liz is recruited to be a dancer in the video.
Sam, is that what your management do to you? They told you not to come out?
Yeah, that's what. Yeah,
'Cause
no,
you-
they would be like. They asked me. They're like, "Are you gay? Please come out.
Sam,
We would love you
please.
to come
You've
out.
got to
It
help.
would really
You got to help us.
It's like, also, can you do a paternity test or something? Like, what have you got? Anything would be great. That's not bad.
Yeah.
I like
because it also deals with like Mike as a ex-boyfriend and a Muslim having trouble with Liz shaking her booty, whereas Chow, who just nutted in her, super cool with it.
Do you think Chow? So Chow's actually quite progressive.
Well, Chow loves it because he's like, these are the kind of videos that I beat off to. You know, he's still Chow, but he's just like cooler.
Right. Okay. What if we?
He's like Hastings,
Yeah.
And Chow.
Chow is a lot like
I'd
Hastings.
say
the ultimate ladies' man.
I'd say we'll take out a lot of Chow's. That's gay.
Yeah,
Because
Like-
the issue I think you're going to have now with the because Liz needs storylines to stay in the because this often happens in sitcoms. If you break the leads partner up and their kind of role was the partner, you need to find an excuse to keep them because it's not reality that they would stay in the friendship.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
Yes.
mean?
Well, I think our thing as well is she's quite close with status quo.
Yeah.
Because she was his confidant before he came out as gay.
Awesome. That's
Yeah.
good.
And also
so
we
could
don't-
she join his entourage?
we also don't want Liz's stories to necessarily always be like Liz fucks someone.
Yeah, yeah.
No, of course not. What did she do for a job?
She
Fuck
works.
someone.
She works at a non-profit.
They work for a non-profit that benefits animals.
Hastings.
Wow.
Fucking him.
Okay.
She works for a non-profit that benefits
So
Hastings.
she's great. The show should be about her.
Yeah.
Fucking Hastings.
Fucking
All right, I'm done with this
Hastings.
bit.
What if she?
Oh, yeah. That's also a running thing. Is he's a terrible nuisance in the writers' room.
Yeah, he only got hired because
This isn't a character.
He's a nepotism
He
hire.
would be so bad. In
Hastings.
the
I would
Oh,
be
yeah.
so good
Hastings
at
got
writing.
hired because the network executive is his uncle, and so
Yeah.
he forced us to do it.
I've got
Oh,
good
that's-
ideas.
If Hastings in a
What
writer's
network is
room would be writing Hastings in as a character, like Roy in that episode of The
It's
Simpsons.
like we've got eight characters here that we need storylines.
Ah.
for. You're
Itchy
like,
and
what about
Scratchy and
nine?
Hastings.
The young Jerry model.
All right, I think I've got a storyline for Trish here. What if she fucked this new character, Andrew?
Yeah, you'd be
Like,
Itchy
you've
and
done this
Scratchy and
every
Hastings.
week, Andrew. Just ask Trish on a date.
What if? Okay, so I'm in the writers' room for How I Met Your Mother, and it's like, okay, what if we do an episode where Ted goes back to his hometown, meets his high school friend Andrew Hastings, and he fucks Ted's mum.
And I would watch that.
Then he comes in and he fucks Robin, he fucks Lily.
Well, why don't you fuck someone in this show, not Liz? Why don't you fuck Status?
Yeah, I don't want to be in this.
Status should get
Status
a cool
is
boyfriend.
ripped and shredded.
Maybe that's the
his
story.
his
That could be
body
a story.
when
Do
he
you
was
wanna do
wearing
that?
that. Like,
Yeah, okay, that's the storyline. then.
Wait, what's the storyline?
Status gets a boyfriend.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh,
Played
and
by
Liz
Andrew
feels like a bit
Well,
like shafted by that, maybe,
Liz.
or
well,
no?
I also think like
That could be good.
Status
Because they're so
getting
close.
Status
Yeah.
getting a boyfriend could work with the idea that he's filming the single called Hella Bitches.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, maybe yeah.
Is the resolution of the episode that they end up being loud and proud, and it's called like Hella Dongs or something with
Yeah.
three Z's?
Oh, and then he has he come out.
And
to
then
the
we get
world?
away, yeah, and then we
No,
get
no.
yeah.
but
It's
he
like
can in this
what if
episode.
it's
I
like-
think this episode he comes out to the
Okay,
world.
so what if-
he's so far he's only out to like the group.
Okay, so what if in the
Yeah.
end
I like where this is going.
it's
Yeah,
about
big time.
So at first like it was about Liz dancing, but in the end the people dancing in the clip are Mike, Ewan and Chow.
Yes, obviously.
Oh.
And they're hella dongs.
And then they become international like gay sex symbols
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well.
yeah,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
then so it takes off. And then the show from here really goes in a different direction.
You know,
it's about gay
That,
sex.
like imagine if
What a curveball that would be.
imagine actually doing this in
That's
early,
off center.
imagine actually doing this in early 2002 is a gay rapper doing a song called Hella Dongs, and the backup dancers are a Vietnamese guy, an Arabic Muslim, and a Jewish guy.
A
like-
Jewish British
yeah.
guy.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
We'd be
great.
fucking swimming in Emmys.
Oh,
Yeah.
big time.
yeah,
Big-
absolutely.
I mean, I reckon that's a great move. And then, but then is there going to be conflict between what's her name, Liz? Between Liz and
Well, no, I think the way to do it is that like so halfway through they pivot to Hella Dongs, and Liz is mad that she's like been talked out, like she's excluded from the video now because she just wanted to shake her thing.
And
she's
she feels
single and
excluded
she wants
from
to get it
yeah,
out
but
there.
the thing that happens is she comes around and realizes that like to be a good friend it means supporting her
Yes.
gay mate no matter
Who's got a
what.
boyfriend and is
Yeah.
doing this.
So
video.
she like lets Mike, Chow, and Ewan do it, and then but like she's also smug. She's like, look at them, they're making fools of themselves because they're dancing really
But
shit.
then- Can
Yeah,
I say
because
in the
Ewan
last-
does his trademark awful dance
Yeah.
in it.
in the last scene, her and Chow leave together.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, there's a little wink.
We
want
wanna
to
keep a-
Oh, you're right. So like,
the
even though at the start of the episode they're like, we can never do that again, and then
or
they're
maybe
like,
that it ends
oh.
and it's celebrated.
She sees
the last scene
when-
after the credits, back in the bed, and they're like, we did it again.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
damn.
you
It
can
took
have
a
like
straight white male, but we finally got
But you
it.
can, because you can have a little shot of like her being like, "Oh, look at them dancing! It's ridiculous." Chell looks pretty good though.
Yeah, totally. That's, I reckon, what happens.
Yeah.
I would love to be like a gay icon. I think that would rule. I got reblogged. This is in like 2012 or 2011 or something.
You really don't listen. Like,
No, but
you're
yeah,
just
Sits
like-
out the
you're
whole
just sitting
pitch, and
there
then he's like,
thinking,
anyway, but Hastings wants to say something here.
I think we could do how they'd all become gay icons and stuff, like Chow and the dancers.
It would be-
in the
Well,
videos.
maybe that could be like a further episode where like they
Yeah.
deal with the fallout from becoming gay
Yeah.
icons.
yeah.
Well, I was going to talk about the time how in like 2012 or 11 or something,
I thought you had a hard out.
a photo. Yeah, I do. But a photo of me got.
I think he meant that he has a hard on.
He's
Can I-
hard. He's
Popped a couple
horny.
of Viagra on the
And
way
he's
over.
still
the story
here.
will take 5 seconds.
Wow, what an episode, right? At this point, what happened? Who knows? Did our celebrated guest with a cheeky pass maybe kick out the power cable, thus cutting the recording short and ensuing a long recovery process? Who's to say? But we want to thank Sam Taunton for having him on. He's a great guest. You can listen to his podcast with Sydney comedian Tom Cashman. It's called The Good Stuff, and it's on iTunes. Plugs for us are the same. Come to Everly Comedy. Follow Andrew Hastings and Rose Piper and myself on Twitter. And if you've ever got any suggestions, email us at weateitallpod@gmail.com or weateitall69@gmail.com. Who knows? We've said it before. To the next step.